There you go. All right, so this is the first one. There. This is the first one I found. I was just streaming a second ago. All right. No, 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 no. All right, so this is the first person I found. I was just streaming a second ago. Um, I kind of want to react to some people's. I've seen a lot of people confused about like good strategies versus bad strategies. So I wanted to make this like a simple way, kind of differentiate to see how people actually. Nothing can be a bad strategy. There's bad advice. And that's the thing. Or there's repeated or basic advice. And that's kind of I'm gonna rate it. This person I've seen before. Um, on one of other things. I don't mind her strategies, so I'm gonna go based over
Any
this.
questions in regards to supply and demand? Guys, comments inside of that area, okay? So I like to trade on the 5-minute time frame. That is just a personal preference. If you want to trade on the 15, the 30, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, you can do so, right? Everything that I'm going to show you guys all applies the exact same way. The only difference is the time frame is literally what it is. It's a different time frame. Each of my candlesticks are worth 5 minutes. If you trade the 4 hour, each of your candlesticks are going to be worth 4 hours. So it just all depends on what type of trader you are. I'm more of a quick money trader, right? I'm a scalper. I want to be in trending down.
I dare you to let me build you a completely free e-commerce store.
Save it, stick it on your wall, whatever you have to do. Sometimes the
All
market.
right, let me get out of here for a second. Let's go to actual live traders. She's fine. She's a decent. Her description, okay. I don't know what to think of TGR. I don't think he gives bad advice. I think his information's okay. I just don't like his content, if that makes sense. I mean, better than mine, but I don't like the easiest strategy in the game. Let's see.
What's good, chat? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Today, I'm just going to break down gold setup for today. Today's July. We're gonna do the 1K series. With that all being with that into today's video, today we can see that gold has bought.
I mean, gold has been bought. Yeah, I mean, gold is showing a strong impulsive move up. We're on the 15-minute time frame right there. I don't trade on the 15-minute, 30-minute. I trade on the tick time frame, but we see this impulsive move up, which is very strong indication that you should really just take any trade on the lower time frame on a bullish move, to be honest. I mean, you don't want to counter trend trade that, especially with gold being this move. I don't know when this video was posted. This cannot be recent, but
last night I was looking on the 4-hour time frame. This is where we was at on the 4-hour time frame. If we go back, we was right around here on that 4-hour time frame.
Showing a clear bullish move here, guys. I mean, he's gonna explain kind of his trade. My idea here is we're moving so far up. If we retest in this gap, especially on the lower time frame, which we're doing here with this strong impulsive move, I would want to see a little, kind of like a little grab of this structure right there, and then maybe potentially move its way back up from here. Just because we're showing such an impulse that you might get a little retest down to here and then continue up from somewhere in this gap, primarily maybe even missing this area just because we're showing so much strength.
As we can see, as we scale down, you should have been looking for the 15-minute to go bullish. Once again, this is going to be a pretty quick video.
Oh, I love this. This is such a great area. If this was just a little bit better, but we have this kind of gap, and if we look at this on the 1-minute time frame, this would probably give a really good entry. You have this like gap, and this is a sign. I know a lot of people say this, but this is a sign at least we're going to come back up and grab some sort of liquidity. My only worry is we're showing the strong impulsive move back, and now we're consolidating. So potential of it grabbing something here. But in my mind, this wouldn't be a bad entry, especially getting in right where this candle is.
Finding the correction and when it's over is fairly easy. You just have to start tracking your highs and lows on that 15-minute time frame. So as we have here, the 15-minute time frame is scaling down and is pushing down. So we will be tracking this the whole way through. Now, gold moves during London session and New York session because it's USD.
That's important to note. Everything moves during those sessions, guys. I'll say that. for anyone that's looking to trade or anything regarding that, it moves. It moves during London. It moves during New York. London's gonna be harder to catch any sort of impulse move trades. I struggle on London with my strategy. London's a lot more difficult for trading
As
strategies.
well, you at most
Let me also add, New York first 30 minutes of the day, don't trade that. Towards the end of the day, it's okay. It depends on what time frame. Since I'm on a 100 tick time frame, it's fine for me. Anytime a New York session, I haven't really had a difficulty at changing the win rate on any of those. But
likely see it move more in New York session, but don't get discouraged when something happens in London session, because that price gold moves during that price range too as well, that session as well. So all we had to do here was follow and track our highs and lows. As we see here, we have a lower high.
again, like I said, this is a potential moving down in that gap. I would want to see it grab this gap. Most likely it's going to grab this low right here. I wouldn't mind this as an entry if this didn't wick down. I would want to see it grab this wick with a clear gap, kind of something similar to this structure right here, continuing down and giving us some strength. But if it does break this high, that's again a continuation. So you might be able to take this trade, come up to here, come up to right there for a small scalp if you were a scalper.
So right here we have a lower high.
And the reason why, like, I think you showed this a second ago, but you have such a strong move. If you're beginning trading at all, if you see any impulsive move in any sort of correction, all you're looking for is, with the impulsive move, a pullback, a break of that pullback where we grab that liquidity. And then we're looking for some sort of stabilization. So right here, we can see that this was a low. We have kind of a lower low and a lower high right here. This is minor structure. I know it's very hard to see. So this would be like the low. This would be the highest high when we broke this low right there. So any break above this high right here is going to be a decent trade, and especially looking for a retest and then a breakup. I mean, I generally don't have any issues with this guy's trading strategy right now. It's for whatever he's explaining. It's very
And then
simple.
this one we have another lower high. Well, that previous one right here is actually going to be just a high, right? Because that's the highest point. You want to see, if you want to see price go bullish, you need price to come back above here. But then price makes a lower high. So if you want to see price go bullish, it has to come above this lower high. And then price makes another lower low, right? So this means price is still bearish because it's still making lows. It's breaking levels of support, as you can see here.
The only part I don't agree with him right here is, yeah, we're making lower low. You can scroll down on the 1 minute time frame and you can get a clearer picture of where you might go, or even that bad 5 minute time frame. You'll see some sort of structure form right here. And once that forms right there, it breaks this little candle high. It should come up to this high right here. It should. So
Breaking levels of support and showing you, hey, I'm still bearish.
let me scroll ahead a little
Which
bit.
side of that price is going to be bullish?
Like I said, grab this, come back into liquidity. We never actually grabbed this, so I mean, that didn't really play out. We have this microstructure again with this red candle bottom. I would want to see how it reacts. If it reacts and it holds the structure and then breaks back above whatever high it's having here, or if it moves impulsively, then I might be interested in taking a trade, coming back to break this lower high, because it's exactly where I wanted to see that entry at.
Right, so now we have another lower low. So I'm gonna keep marking these lower lows in circles for you. So lower low, price is still bearish, right? So now, since price makes a lower low, it's gonna go.
Oh, another thing, what he's explaining really well, he's not taking any of these trades, even though this is like back testing to some degree or hindsight. He's not taking any of these trades at the end of the day, right? That's important to note. I like that a lot.
For a lower high, because that's what
Sorry, I lost train of thought. I like that a lot for the pure reason that when he's taking these trades, he's not saying take these trades, continue this trend down, because he knows that the higher time frame is so bullish. So
it does. When price shoots down, it corrects to make a lower high. Price shoots down, at the moment price.
MAGA alert. President Trump's given Pamela Abbott his complete and total endorsement. As governor, Abbott will eliminate
need a
the income
VPN
tax,
or some
lower
sort of ad
property
blocker.
taxes,
Jesus
and
Christ.
follow Trump's lead by slashing regulations.
Pamela Abbott is fantastic.
Ads. No. There we go.
Know that price is bullish. So we're gonna
There you go. Here, you're waiting for a retest. You could look for a small candle closure back in the box where he's doing. If you take these types of trades, he's probably going to explain this in a second. Let's be honest. But strong move. Like I was saying earlier, you wanted to just see a small little grab. I think we grabbed that barely on the wick because you want to see the liquidity. If we scroll back early in the video right here, with this strength, again, this is the breakout gap that was forming, continuing the structure upwards. You want to see this grab barely and then continue up higher because that will show a strong impulsive move coming for this high over here.
It was right around here on that into the trade, and you know it was looking really good.
And that's not a bad entry either. That's actually a really good entry, I would say. The main reason I'm saying that's you don't need to have it below here. There's still a chance of it grabbing it one more time, but the odds at this point, no, not really. He had a good trade here. I would target these high for 1 to 2. He's probably going to target a higher. You can, if you want to be very risky. Where is it at?
Only payout. Your highs bullish. Once again, this is going to be as bought last night.
I can't find it. Oh, here it is. If you want to be really risky, you can play up to this area right here on that trade.
People in there too as well. Super active. You can learn something, right? But I seen you guys definitely frame and putting your stop loss. Already knew the 4 hour.
Oh, that's a good trade. Really good trade. And it came all the way up. Let me see what it looks like on the other chart.
Here or here, whichever one you want to use. Here.
Oh, he does scroll down to a lower time frame, like I said. He plays the fair value gap, which this isn't a strong one. I'll explain that in a second. It's basically the gap. This is my strategy, looking for a gap at the break of this structure right here. So break of this low right there. You want to see a gap where you don't see these little wicks retest, which you have right here. You know, there's a little difference here. And once it closes above the gap, you could have taken the entry a little bit higher here. You could also take a retest. You could add positions when it comes back into this high because it's going to carry on most likely.
And you scale back out to that 1 hour time frame. Once you scale back out to that 1 hour time frame, you'll target that 1 hour high.
If you look at where his initial entry was, that area came up to the price where I was looking at.
And then you would probably just, you know, go with the flow of that.
Good strategy overall. Really good. I know he has 499K. Don't know if he actually took this trade, but, you know, great explanation of that. I would just disagree with one thing that he said throughout that for my own personal strategy. Very good. Let's find someone else. I like her. I do like this person a lot. I like her trading journal. I think she's good. There's another person I really like as well. I will try to find him in a second. Oh, IBLV trading. She's good as well. Who's this? Casper. Don't like Casper. I don't think he gives good information. Not for him either. Oh, steal your strategy. Sure, let's see what that is.
Trump gives Pamela Evitt his complete and total endorsement.
Another warrior.
Dude, what is with these political ads?
Single most important. Yesterday, I made $11,000 and I lost consistently. So the first and most important thing that you should understand is the overall directional bias, the sentiment of price.
Okay, well, we see price right here. I don't know what bias he's talking about in general. We have the overall bias of bearish, but I don't know what he would see here on Euro USD, to be honest, other than taking a short position. And there's not even confirmation for me to take a short here. So I'm very interested to see what he's going to say. Since we haven't really broken any structural high or low, we have this area right here, this here. We could see Tuesday was a strong move down. So you assume Wednesday is going to be a correction. Wednesday is usually a consolidation correction day. So maybe come up to the wick, most likely going to continue down. Most likely wouldn't even take this trade yet.
Very bearish. We're in a huge sell
for my own strategy.
So what do you think the first thing that I'm looking for when I open the market for that specific day? I'm most likely looking for shorts. As you can see here, this green
that's correct.
Candle here represents the daily candle at that moment in time. So you'll see this change. And this is a very important thing for me because when I'm shorting the market in a bearish trend, I actually want to sell a bullish candle. You see, that sounds counterintuitive, But the truth is 90% of people, when they see this big green candle, they want to buy that.
Don't agree with that. Straightforward. Don't agree with that necessarily. Let me go back and see what he said
See this
exactly.
change. See, that sounds counterintuitive, but the truth is 90% of people, when they see this trend,
Wait, what is he saying?
change. And this is a very important thing for me, because when I'm shorting the market in a bearish trend, I actually want to sell a bullish candle.
No, you don't. You want confirmation. But you do want to sell a bullish candle on the higher time frame, sure. No, actually, no, you don't. No, I don't agree with this at all. I don't agree with this strategy at all. With what he's saying, yes, it's counterintuitive. You can use trader psychology, but you can sell a bullish candle. But realistically, you would want to go on the lower time frame near the high of a structure and look for a bearish candle for confirmation. Unless you use Fibonacci, and Fibonacci can be profitable if you just enter at a specifically discounted zone. What I mean by that is, like, for example, I use Fibonacci for risk and reward sometimes, but
That sounds
all it is entering at like a 0.2 zone and targeting like a 1.4, and that gives you a 1 to 6 risk reward, something around that.
counterintuitive. But the truth is 90% of people, when they see
And
this
that could be
big
profitable just
green
following the
candle,
trend.
they want to buy that candle. And if 90% of traders lose money, then you literally just will make money by doing the opposite. And the logic here is that you want to be selling when everybody else is thinking about buying.
Again, he's not wrong. Just this example is he's entering on a bearish candle. Now, this is a green candle, and this is still a bearish structure. So he's not wrong, but the lower time frame is showing that bearish.
And so essentially what we can see here, number one,
I know what
selling
SMC
off
is as
aggressively
well,
from
but
yesterday. We come into the market, and there's a few very important things you need to see here. We have Asia session low down here, and we have
you don't even need Asia session low. We're in a bearish trend to begin with, guys. Thank you. Appreciating Super Staccatos. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Doing a lot better than I was doing. Doing a lot better. I'll be honest. I'll show you something. Let me go to here. I'll pull it up while this video is playing.
lows at
Let me pull
Asia
this
session
up.
low. This is also the current low of the day. So we have the low of the current day, and we have the lowest point of the previous day. The first thing I'm doing when I come into the market is I'm building narrative. I'm an intraday trader. I want to understand what's going to happen in this one specific day, in this one specific session, and how can I get involved in that? And everything is screaming towards lower prices. We're bearish. We've traded above Asia session high.
Yeah, let me do
We have a bullish daily candle. We have Asia low that's untapped. We have equal lows at Asia low, and we have previous day's low.
What I was saying about the liquidity there, guys.
Low of day. So everything is screaming out to go.
Give me 1 second. What I was saying about that liquidity here, he's not wrong. Yeah, this is sessions. You could use that as confirmation. But in general, everything would scream towards grabbing that liquidity. Yes, that does not mean that your high wouldn't be taken out. So you don't want to keep your stop. If you're trading on this time frame, particularly, you do want your stop at least at the 50% of this wick, because anything more means it potentially could come up for liquidity. A confirmation for me is whenever it closes this gap, you could take a short, and then you can target even further than this liquidity a little bit lower. And that would give you a higher confirmation than what he's talking about here. But this is a separate strategy, I guess. So targeting sessions, you can use that as a extra form of, proof that your trade's going to go in its favor, which again is right. But don't just assume with this that we're going to continue moving down here. This still could come up, grab this. Yeah, especially with the new open of a candle. So even if this works out with this specific trade, like we can look back at other trades as well. Another one is you would expect with this bearish candle that this high is not going to be taken out. Hey, what's up, Silva? Jasper, how are you doing? I'm pulling up something for you guys. I want to explain this. See if I can show you. I'll let this play through.
Days low,
I'll give it anything other insight if I feel like I
lows
disagree.
with the current low of day. So everything is screaming out to go for shorts. The second thing I need to do is I need to wait for confirmation. You see, it's
Thank
one
you.
thing
Okay, there
having
you
a
go.
bias,
Yes.
a narrative of price, but then you
Sorry, I got really ahead of myself He's right.
actually have to allow price
He's
to
right.
confirm your bias for you. A big mistake that I see traders face is they're always trying to predict the market, and they're trying to get into the market before the market has even showed them what it's going to do. That's a big error. You need to let the market show you and then just react to what it shows you instead of trying to be a genius and think that you can predict every move. That's why 90% of traders lose. Even smart money concept traders are losing because they're trying to predict price. Have a bias, absolutely. Have a narrative in mind, but this is still data that the market.
Yeah, I mean, true. Even if your narrative is incorrect, the basic narrative, what you need is just following highs or lows. And I know that's very simple to understand, but following highs or lows and looking for a fake out is the best strategy you could have, baseline of a strategy you could have, or even trading a strong trend bullish and just looking for some sort of bullish engulfing candle is a decent trade, targeting a 1-to-1, having your stop very low down, stop high. Let me give you an example of this in 1 second. But let's let this play through.
I've literally sat in thousands of daily sessions on euro dollar and watched the price action. I understand the small little move in here where sellers
price move down here. I think we formed a little, for my strategy, particularly fair value gap. We're moving upwards overall. What's the higher time frame here? Yeah, still moving upwards overall. Grab this liquidity. Same exact entry of what this other one was. I would want to see if this would come down one more time to grab this, to retest this gap, but I don't think it will. I don't know. I can't really draw a line there. Maybe it will continue down here, but this one I wouldn't take.
All of a sudden in control of this
Yeah,
point. And
he's right. Sellers are in control. I think it would come down to grab this liquidity and maybe come down a little bit lower.
Aggressive buyers step back in, push sellers out of the market. Sellers try again to push price lower. And once I'll quickly show you, I have hundreds and hundreds of trades of data on my motion below this low. If I get that, that is my green light.
Okay, yeah.
London opens with a huge
move down. We're at a discounted zone. This is a previous high and low right here. Wednesday, Thursday, immediate correction back up to this line. I mean, not a bad trade. It's giving confirmation as well. If you scroll to the lower, is he on the minute? Oh, he's on the minute time frame. You scroll to the higher time frame. This probably won't look like that big of a move other than an entry candle. This is the first 30 minutes of the day. So
sell off. Now, in part, this daily candles in a people think.
Oh yeah, he shows it right here.
Time and time and time again.
Yeah, he shows it right here. Bullish move coming down. This is my strategy right here. So this would actually be a good confirmation for my entry. If you want to know more about the strategy, I posted a YouTube short earlier on. So
okay, instead of forcing it, I'm just waiting for the confirmation. So now at London Open, I'm looking at taking this trade, and I'm
I'm going to do a little bit of a poll right here. For whoever's interesting, entering so I can know what my audience is, basically. Probably new traders or people that never even thought about this.
And the area that I want to take this trade is the supply range, right? You can
grab this, stayed within the high right here. I mean, the previous high and low structure right here. Came here, just really like this.
And so really what I'm thinking in my head, get the higher time frame intraday narrative.
Yeah, really good strategy.
In alignment with that's what kills people.
Love Roblox? Earn Roblox digital gift cards with Microsoft Rewards. Sign up for Microsoft Rewards and earn
people. But for me, I have the context. First and foremost, I have the context of understanding who's in control of the market.
Let me also add something. I mean, another confirmation is breaking above this high right here. This candle wick high. That could have been a separate entry, putting a low down here. I mean, either way, coming up targeting this liquidity right there is usually would be my strategy for a, day trading. But yeah, not bad. Really good narrative.
On top of that, I also explain those things when you understand them with narrative. So a lot of people think that pattern recognition from smart money concept is what's going to make them money. wrong. You have to understand what's happening to be able to make the best decisions. And over the next 8 weeks, I'm going to be actually breaking down a full smart money concept. Price go down and your heart rate's fluctuating everywhere. And
Price is going to hold here in my mind, but we are consolidating. If it doesn't hold, if it breaks this low, I would take a short entry, just coming a 1-to-1 entry if I, that was part of my strategy, but it would come down for this liquidity, maybe even coming down for this overall liquidity down here, but most likely this thing's going to continue up. I think we grabbed this by a pip and we held this breaker gap. And nothing's really signifying that it's not going to come up for this
you don't
liquidity.
know what to do with yourself, right? That's most traders. For me, I understand what's happening. I understand we've come back into this level. I see the DXY. This sideways price delivery for me is a good sign. What it's telling me is that buyers keep trying to attack this level that I'm at. And every time, sellers are just holding them off. That tells me that there is a big market player at this level who is defending this price point. And at some point or another, what's going to happen is the buyers are going to realize that they can't push price past this level.
Yeah, that's true. Depends on which level you're at. Like I said, I would be incited to say this could hold. You would want to see a breaker. But if it does break below those lows, then I might be, interested in taking a short here.
And they're most likely going to give up.
Maybe not even that. I mean, the fact is this should have been the initial move up. I think he's right about that. This is the initial move up after grabbing liquidity. This should have broken this liquidity in that high. If we're a strong move.
Stop taking price past this level, and the buyers are going to realize that they've become exhausted, and the buyers are going to move.
Yeah, like that a lot. You failed, came below that wick, retested back up. This would have been too strong of a candle. Come back into this gap right here would have been my entry. There's a separate type of gap, at least for my own strategy, that I would be looking for. So this is kind of an inwards gap. This is more so retest and continuation of the trend. If this would have, shown that gap around this level, I'd be a little bit worried that's coming up for this liquidity.
Off into your level.
Oh, really good break. This is if this holds right here.
Now all of a sudden you start beating yourself up, or you get into these points and then price starts reversing back up here.
Is it going to show me?
Right, look at that daily candle there.
Yeah. Oh, let me show you this. This is part of my concept. Where's he at? Price came up here, a red candle right here after we break. This is a gap, an inverse fair value gap. If you hold this fair value gap when it's a breaker candle, so a candle that breaks a low or breaks a high, if you hold that with a candle that goes in the opposite direction, you can take that trade for a really good risk to reward. You put your stop loss above that candle right here, you put your entry, and then you expect it to or you can even put it a gap, and you expect it to break downwards. And you can even play it on the higher time frame candle. Let's say we're trading on the hour and you have the minute candle. You could target the hour low based off that.
Up. Or you
it's a really good strategy. I really like that. I like that he explained that.
And you start closing your position early. A lot of people have psychology problems, but I understand. I know
5-minute time frame. Really like that a lot.
This daily candle with a good high probability is flipping to a bearish candle. I need to wait for that. So you can see, right? Look at that daily candle. There you go. That daily candle was bullish.
New traders, hey, how's it going, man? If you have any questions, let me know. I'm about to pull up something for you guys. It's something I started doing. Helped improve my psychology a lot. Yes, it uses AI to some degree, not to trade directions, but to kind of self-report. It gives you an objective way to rate yourself. I love rating scales. I think they're the best thing you could do for yourself. So it takes that, and it's very easy to plug into Claude, which can make a document for you. So let me show you that. Actually, I really like his strategy. Definitely, if you can learn from this video, this is a very good way. It basically is taking liquidity and directions, and then just going through different time frames. So, he looked at the hour, 5-minute, and the 1-minute, which I like a lot. So let me show you this. This is what I wanted to show everyone. Not that. Here we go. So I have AI create me kind of my own journal. And yeah, I can add screenshots if I want, but I remember the trades. I can look them back. So here's my own journal that I had Claude. So the rating scale is like a subjective rating scale. I post my trades into it and I ask it for feedback. I posted my strategy rules and I trained it to give me my strategy rules based off it. So I've done this only for 2 days because I want to make sure it's accurate in real time, right? So this was June 4th and then June 5th before my PC broke. Oh, wait. No, my PC already broke by then. I was trading on my personal computer. But what it shows, what the nice thing about this, I can make it bigger for everyone that's blind like me. So it gives you this, and then based off your strategy, it told you what your mistake is. So I'm risking $100 per trade. I'm going to do this for the whole challenge of this Top Step account, and it tells you what you did wrong. Higher time frame was consolidating, no clear trend. Entry was inside internal structure with no higher time frame retest. I know this is a lot of big words, especially for someone that's learning how to trade, but I'll explain that in a second. It gives me a place to insert the screenshot. So I want to pull up the quad, actually. Let me go ahead and exit this. Okay. Let me pull up what I was trading it with. So this is what I imported for it to kind of do this. So basically, I like Claude a lot. These were some of my trades. I had an impulsive move. This was the first trade. You can, and this is what I'm saying. It's consolidating, no clear move right here, consolidating with no clear confirmation. So that's the first trade that it was kind of defending right here. Entry inside internal structure setup was below strategy standard. So it rates my strategy for me. So all it is you come up with a very detailed plan, and then you import your screenshots, both the higher time frame and the lower time frame, into that plan for Claude, and then it'll create a document for you. And I think that's really cool. Because yeah, I'm not using AI to enter or exit the trades, but it's giving me a journal that I otherwise would not write usually. And it's keeping me on track. It's telling me what I do well, what I do wrong. It allows me to correct it, which is really nice. And then it rates the scales for me. That was kind of incorrect. So going later on, this was another strange strategy I took. Bullish move upwards, right? Bullish structure, do not counter turn trade, held. This is all stuff I wrote at the time. And then we can see we had an impulsive move confirming the move up. And so my entry was the inverse fair value gap. And then the same thing, trade for long. And that tells you this is the closest to my strategy so far. So I just want to show you this. It's a cool way so you could track things. And then this was day one results. I ended up win rate 50%, but it rates my scores based off my own strategy. And so any scores above a 5 is generally profitable, which is really nice. So I asked it, like, assume I'm following my trend and my strategy. Just assume a profitable trader is 5. So it's a subjective scale. It's not based off any objective data. So data that is true. So this tells me how I did on that day. And then we had day 2. So it allowed me to fix my mistakes that I made. And so I'll be doing this tomorrow, and I'll be doing this the next day and the next day and the next day, because it actually is the best information I've gotten in a long time that I've had to do the least amount of work for. So, and that's the main thing at the end of the day, trying to make this a quick process, making all the grueling stuff like journal keeping, everything like that, risk reward, make it less grueling. So I made it a challenge for myself. Like, I want to prove this thing wrong, right? I want to prove AI wrong, that I am not a bad trader. I'm trading well. And so the second day, I'll show you it. This was my 96. Some of these are more than a 1 to 2 risk reward because I had a higher thing. Day 2, 1 win, 1 loss, profit loss, $419. Again, I'm only risking $100 in each one of these trades. And this is what it rated me the next day. And a lot of these improved, right? And all you do is you ask it to add it to a pre-existing document. And you can just continue to stay on the similar tab right here. So really cool. I think it's a really cool way to keep track of your trades. And then it keeps a running a move of my days, 4, 6, 5, 7, 5, 6, and it'll give me an average. Right now I'm bordering on a profitable trader. It kind of mimics my own actual trading right now where I'm barely profitable. That's it. So, um, and a lot of that is the psychology. So if I can improve that, I'm probably not going to have a red day unless the market's really consolidating for a while, as long as I stick to my psychology, and that's my hope. So cumulative P&L on this funded challenge. Again, this is not a past funded account. I want to let people know. Total trades 8, overall win-loss, overall win rate right there. But yeah, really cool. I think that's cool. If anyone has any questions about that, I'm going to show this again tomorrow, but I think that's just really sick to begin with. All right, let's find something else. Let me find actual live videos. Okay, let's go to some of these shorts that keep on appearing.
It took me 10 years to learn this trading strategy. I'm going to teach it to you in less than 1 minute. At 9:30 a.m., you're simply looking at the 15-minute candle. When that 15-minute candle is finished, you get the range high and the range low. Now just drop down to the 5-minute time frame, and we're just going to wait for a candle to break outside of that range high or that range low and then close. You can
Not bad. I mean, generally not bad. This would also fit my personal strategy right here. Not a bad strategy, I guess. It's hard to read. It's very simple for people, but if you're not reading the overall trend, don't do trend lines. Please, please. Trend lines can be useful, but you have to know which trend line to draw, and you can draw a million trend lines on a chart. There's a few people I know that are really good with it. Please do not do trend lines, though. Just track market structure, track the last 3 market structure that you see, and then play it based off that. For example, with this one, he broke this trade. You could trade up to this gap, or you could trade up to the next liquidity. You can scale out of position. Scaling basically means you're exiting part of your position, okay? So if I'm exiting maybe 25% of my position at a time, 50% of my position at a time, and that needs to be pre-written in your rules. So please, please, when you're trading, do not use trend lines unless you know exactly how to use them. And they're a lot more difficult to use the market structure correctly. I'm begging people. But again, it's not bad. You just need to know, got to know kind of market structure. And I guess with the trend line, it works in this case, but I'm just not a fan of them.
see we just had that happen for trade support. Maybe you enter at a trend line like this, and then
that is correct. That is support and resistance. This is a inverse fair value gap. You can see that break at the inverse fair value gap. I completely agree with him.
when the price comes back to that level, you're into that
Not a bad entry either. That's a really good entry.
trade. Price eventually pushes all the way up, and
Not bad. Again, not bad information. Oh, this guy.
A lot of times this is what happens when the market opens, okay? So your session can be, if you're trading for a lot of times this is what happens when the market opens, okay? So your session can be, if you're trading Forex, maybe 8 o'clock, or my session, I'm trading the NASDAQ, so it's 9:30. A lot of times the market would just do a fake move, maybe to the upside or to the downside, and then go right back down. So right here, the market opened at 9:30. Notice how it did a nice move to the upside right here, right? And it's getting a lot of people, hyped up, like, oh my gosh, the market is bullish. Oh, let me try to buy. So notice how it's hitting this resistance though. A lot of people are not looking at this. Now, hitting resistance twice right here, is having a hard time getting over that resistance. This is where...
Okay, here's my issue with these. Okay, let me give, for anyone that's a new trader, here's the issue with this concept. Yes, it's having a difficult time. Yes, it might be struggling to break through. We don't know the higher time frame here. Don't just take this information. We don't know what the higher time frame is telling us. Are we potentially pulling up from here? Are we potentially pulling down? Are we in a bearish trend, which basically means a downward trend, right? I don't know that information. He's not showing the information. But yes, we are generally struggling. We did grab this liquidity right here. We could enter this if this was in a trend to the downside. I just don't like how he's explaining it personally.
I'm looking to attack, going short right here to trap all the...
Going short right here? What? You're going short before confirmation of the candle. Okay. Again, necessarily disagree with the ideology. He's missing a lot of information that'd be important to share here. You would not go short from here. You would not get that good of a risk to reward. I promise you. You're either entering at the line to get a better risk to reward without confirmation and near the top of a higher time frame bearish structure, or you're entering on the confirmation of a lower time frame structure. And that's the only two that you're doing. Otherwise, it's not going to be profitable long term, and I have the data to support that. So
buyers so I can get my profits. So this is something that you can use when you're trading the market, especially around when your session opens. A lot of times this will happen.
Okay.
A lot of times this will happen.
That's my issue, is when I say I don't like it, I don't know if he's profitable. I can't really argue that side. Just the explanations are missing key details that probably have to pay a course for. It's very simple things to say. This guy's good. I don't mind Ross Cameron. I think he actually gives really good information. His strategy is very hard to replicate for newer traders. Very easy to replicate for newer traders, but it's hard to specialize, and it's hard on psychology, I guess, to figure out where your risk to reward is. I don't remember necessarily.
I'm going to walk you through the simplest day trading strategy and your potential for gain. That way, even if you're only right 50% of the time, hopefully you can still walk away with a little bit of profit. Now,
by the way, the 30 for the 1 to 2, 36% is not going to give you profitable. You need at least a 41% to be profitable. Win rate because of fees and commissions, unless you have very, very small fees or commissions. That's the only way you're going to see any sort of substantial profit that's going to give you anything you need. Okay.
We know that trading is risky, and we know the statistics that most traders lose money. And of course, my results are not typical. I have to say that. But as a beginner trader, I think you could do yourself a really big favor by focusing on keeping it simple. So the simplest strategy is to focus on the leading percentage gainers each day. Now this is
He's a stock trader. I don't trade stocks, but he's not wrong. Focus on, there's a lot of filters out there if you trade stocks, and if you use anything. You can add filters, especially on like, I think it's StockWiz or something like that. I forgot the names of all of them. I haven't traded stocks in forever. But in general, you can use filters, just finding very trending stocks, either to the downside or to the upside, and you can find those filters and use them to find very easy entries. And even still, then you can do it one or two ways. Use that filter, find entries, and then look on the lower time frame for your specific entry. Or the second way is just choose like 10 stocks and then filter through those if you do trade stocks. Okay,
this is a big deal. So the stock that I trade, I'm going to walk you through the focusing on keeping it simple each day. And this is a big deal. So examples of it as we get into the video. It went up 200%.
Oh, the standard advertising. Love it. Let me see if I can find anyone else. Oh, she is the best at adding positions. Love her positions. It's hard to replicate. Love it. Love what she does. She is not afraid to add positions. She adds off confirmation.
Here at 18. Order filled. 1813.
She knows this is going to continue the trend down. I don't like trend lines again, but again, people can be profitable with it.
So we're about
not afraid. I bet she's going to add another position in here.
to close in 20 seconds. I need to see this break pretty strongly. All right, I just added to this position.
Yep. Added position, stop loss above the high. You're taking a risk. I mean, I don't mind this taking the risk. She's keeping the stop very close in case it rejects. But don't necessarily like that. That's going to retest back up, right?
Out, if we break above this trend line. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to take this down.
How she trails is amazing. So she takes the higher time. She takes the trend that's currently going on. She trails very close, so she makes sure she gains profit. She's trailing at the break. This is most likely next candle going to take her out, but that's okay because you've already gotten more than a 1 to 2 risk reward. So this is very hard to replicate. Would not recommend it for new, but I really like how she trades. Really do. I tried to replicate it myself and I struggled a lot. If you want to follow anyone to learn how to manage risk in adding contracts, I bet her full position size is around this contract amount and she starts with half position size or something around that. Maybe she starts with full and then she just adds with confirmation. I don't know, but I really do like how she trades.
You just hit about 117 ticks. I'm trailing my stop.
Didn't get stopped out. Putting the stop above that candle probably, or even near this gap is where she's going to move it. Yep.
Just going to keep trailing down.
Trailing down really close. Confirmation where you have the gap this close. Really like how she trades. I'm going to be honest, guys. Really like how she trades.
I might get stopped out around here, but I am targeting down to where we had this large.
She's going to get stopped out. I mean, we can tell right here. But
sell order, but I might get stopped. I just got stopped out.
Good trade. Really good trade. Really good trailing. Oh, so good. I love her trading. Her shorts are probably one of the best out there. For the bigger YouTubers. So good.
Y'all, my indicator launches. One of the biggest mistakes traders make when trying to trade order flow, specifically passive levels of liquidity like buyers and sellers, is thinking that buyers at a level automatically means buy and sellers at a level automatically means sell. So I'm going to show you how to read volume at the levels to determine whether to use it for a breakout or reversal, and also how to stop getting caught up in those false breakouts. So this is the trade I took yesterday. I essentially got into shorts once price broke.
Love that. Oh my, this is what you need to follow. Love this already. Great, fantastic. Break of the structure downwards, probably on a higher, if you even scroll to a higher trend, it's already bearish, moving to the downside. Love this. You could see how it failed. We came back into the structure that was forming right here, this previous candle. Once that's a confirmation, take that liquidity down, take it all the way down. You could see how she's taking the liquidity from up here. But once we get that confirmation, you take an entry, fail, retest, entry, add to the position, moving down, trailing your take profit over here, and then exiting somewhere right here when you get stopped out at the high of the candle, because you'll get stopped out on that candle. But she's really good. Really like your strategy.
Broke and held below buyers at this 200 level. This is the actual liquidity being displayed on my chart. But I didn't just get into this trade because we ended up breaking a level. Like, I didn't just trade a blind breakout. What I did was analyze price and volume as price was approaching the level, once it got to the level, and even after. So you can see here, as price is moving down towards this buyer's level, we have these sellers stepping in very aggressively. Sellers are increasing as price is approaching the buyer's level, right? That's the first key. Second thing is, as we're actually at that level, what are buyers and sellers doing? I see that every time these buyers try to step in relative to the selling pressure before, it's weak, right? Buyers try to step in here relative to the selling pressure before, it's weak. Buyers try to step in again here relative to the selling pressure before, it's weak. And then
good information on volume. If you need someone with volume, this is a perfect, very short explanation. This is exactly how you read volume. I don't use volume that much. I should really try to implement that some way, but I don't really need to. Just great. Love how she trades. Really do. This is one of the better, kind of higher. How many subscribers she have? 61. Better day trading and education channels out of everything I see. And I think she purely does shorts most of the time. I don't know if she has long form, just not frequent. Really like her. But yeah, I'm going to call it there. I mean, gave some insight. Hopefully whoever watches this afterwards finds some information, finds some interest in trading. That's my main goal, is just people that find interest but don't blow all their money, right? I don't want this to be gambling. Trust me. Don't be gambling. But yeah, hopefully you guys have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow for actual live.